In the heart of San Jose, California, stands a mansion unlike any other in the world. To the untrained eye, it is simply a massive Victorian estate, ornate, sprawling, and beautiful in its strangeness. But to those who know its history, it is a place of obsession, grief, and ghostly whispers. This is the story of the Winchester Mystery House, a labyrinth built not from design, but from fear. It all begins with a woman named Sarah Winchester. Born Sarah Pardee in 1839, she lived an ordinary life until she married into extraordinary fortune. In 1862, she wed William Wirt Winchester, heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. That company's invention, the Winchester rifle, often called the gun that won the West, had already taken thousands of lives on battlefields and frontiers. The Winchesters were rich beyond measure, but their wealth was soaked in blood. Sarah and William had one child, a daughter named Annie. But tragedy struck quickly. Annie died at just a few weeks old from a rare illness, and Sarah fell into despair. Years later, her husband William also died suddenly from tuberculosis, leaving Sarah a widow and heir to his fortune. Overnight, she inherited millions of dollars and nearly half of the Winchester Company, a sum so vast it would be billions today. But instead of joy, her inheritance brought only sorrow and guilt. Broken by grief, Sarah sought answers beyond the world of the living. She turned to spiritualists who were popular in the late 1800s. According to legend, one medium told Sarah something that would shape the rest of her life, that she was cursed. The countless souls killed by Winchester rifles, the medium said, were restless. Their spirits would haunt her forever. And there was only one way to appease them. She must build a home for the dead. But there was a catch. The spirits would never rest, and so the house could never be finished. If Sarah stopped building, death itself would come for her. So Sarah Winchester began to build. In 1884, she purchased an 8-room farmhouse in San Jose, and from that day until her death, nearly 40 years later, construction never ceased. Carpenters worked day and night. Rooms rose, hallways twisted, staircases climbed into ceilings. There was no master plan, no blueprint. Sarah gave directions as though guided by unseen hands, and the workers followed. The result was not a home, but a maze, a 160-room mansion of doors that open into walls, staircases that lead nowhere, secret passageways, and windows that overlook other rooms. The house grew into a living puzzle, a place where logic broke down. Some say Sarah built it this way to confuse the spirits, so they would wander endlessly, unable to find her. Others believe she was building a labyrinth, a grand hotel for the dead, where the restless souls could dwell. The mansion was filled with strange details, stairs built with uneven steps, rooms within rooms, tiny doors next to giant ones, windows set into the floor. Everywhere the number 13 appeared. 13 panes of glass, 13 steps, 13 coat hooks. Even the sink drains had 13 holes. Sarah seemed obsessed with the number, as though it had a magical hold over her. Despite its size, Sarah lived a reclusive life inside the house. Servants whispered about her nightly rituals. At midnight, she rang a bell to summon the spirits. At 2 a.m., she rang it again to dismiss them. She is said to have spoken to them in a séance room, a hidden chamber with 1 entrance and 3 exits, only one of which led back to safety. The other doors opened into thin air. Was it a trick to confuse the spirits, or was Sarah herself trapped in a world of fear? And yet, Sarah was not mad. By all accounts, she was intelligent, polite, even kind. Her obsession with the house came not from lunacy, but from terror. She truly believed that if the hammer stopped, if the nails ceased to strike wood, death would come. And so, for 38 years, the house grew. Then, in 1922, it ended. Sarah Winchester died in her sleep at the age of 83. The very moment she passed, construction stopped. Workers dropped their tools and walked away, leaving nails half driven into wood. The spirits, it seemed, no longer needed their mansion. The Winchester Mystery House still stands today, a monument to grief, guilt, and the supernatural. Visitors wander its halls and feel a chill in the air. Guides tell stories of footsteps in empty rooms, of cold drafts in locked chambers, of Sarah's ghost still roaming her endless corridors. Skeptics say the house is simply the result of an eccentric woman with too much money. But others believe it is more, a home built on blood money, designed for the countless souls felled by a weapon that changed history. Whatever the truth, the Winchester Mystery House remains one of the strangest places on Earth. It is a mansion without logic, a puzzle without solution, a place where every door and stairwell whispers of sorrow. A house that grew not from ambition, but from fear. And perhaps, the spirits still walk its endless halls. Outro, creepy call to action. And so the doors of the Winchester Mystery House remain open. Perhaps not just to the living, but to the dead. If you want to hear more tales from the shadows, subscribe to Legends of the Dark and step deeper into the unknown.